From Pluribus to the Chair Company, there are some really great self-contained, fiercely original TV shows airing right now with no connections to any franchise or shared universe. These days, it's becoming increasingly rare that studios let a story just exist on its own, without tying back to some beloved IP or making it a spin-off of some description. Even a workplace comedy like The Paper has to be set in the same universe as The Office to get greenlit in Hollywood today. Not every franchise-associated TV show is a letdown. Andia, The Penguin, and X-Men '97 are three of the best shows to come along in recent memory, but IP connections can be a detriment to narrative. Peacemaker was too busy setting up future DC projects to resolve its own story in a satisfying way. Wednesday puts a fun supernatural twist on a typical high school show, but it's jam-packed with Addams Family Easter eggs. Alien, Earth and It, Welcome to Derry both go deep on well-worn horror lore that works better when it's shrouded in mystery. Gen V turned the Boys franchise into the very thing it was mocking. House of the Dragon keeps procrastinating and delaying its dramatic payoffs to take advantage of those sweet Game of Thrones-sized ratings for as many seasons as possible. There are plenty of great shows on TV right now that don't have these problems, because they are not spin-offs or reboots or adaptations, they are refreshingly original. The Beast in Me. With producers as disparate as Jodie Foster and Conan O'Brien, The Beast in Me is the product of Hollywood royalty. Claire Danes plays an author struggling with writer's block, and Matthew Rhys plays the Nepo real estate tycoon who lays low in the house next door after being accused of murdering his first wife. Murder mysteries are a dime a dozen on Netflix, from harrowing dramatic accounts like Adolescence to goofy comedies starring Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, but The Beast in Me stands out from the crowd. It's not just an exploitative psychological thriller tapping into all the usual cliches, it's a well-observed battle of wits between these two fascinating characters. The Lowdown. After making his name with Reservation Dogs, Sterling Harjo is back with a new show that's just as great, but in a completely different way. The Lowdown is a subversively funny, refreshingly laid-back neo-noir caper in the vein of The Big Lebowski or Inherent Vice. Ethan Hawke stars as a bumbling journalist vehemently seeking the truth in spite of constant threats and beatings. The Lowdown is both a wildly unpredictable mystery comedy and a passionate ode to the tenets of good journalism, in a world where good journalism is getting harder and harder to find. It's a perfect small-screen counterpart to Paul Thomas Anderson's recent masterpiece One Battle After Another. They are both hilarious, high-stakes, action-packed romps full of timely political commentary. The Chair Company. Tim Robinson's HBO comedy The Chair Company is like an I Think You Should Leave sketch that doesn't have to end. It begins with Robinson's Ron Trosper being named project manager at work. After suffering a brutal public embarrassment in front of his new team, Ron comes unhinged and starts obsessing over what he believes is a disturbing corporate conspiracy. In a 3-minute sketch, Robinson usually doesn't get the opportunity to bring real depth or humanity to his eccentric, rage-filled comic persona. In The Chair Company, he has plenty of time to dig into why his character is like that, why he's got so much pent-up anger, why he's so socially inept, and the sadness his eccentricity is covering for. The Chair Company is a perfect marriage of cringe comedy and surreal mystery. Every episode is full of dark, twisted laughs, as one would expect from a fully uncensored Robinson, but every episode also has a jaw-dropping twist that keeps you hooked until the next one. As Ron falls deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, the mystery only gets more compelling. Pluribus. Vince Gilligan is back with another show that's just as timely, just as profound, and just as wholly original as Breaking Bad. Currently airing on Apple TV, Pluribus reunites Gilligan with Better Call Saul's Rhea Seehorn, who plays one of the only people on Earth who proves to be immune to a mysterious epidemic of happiness that swept the human race. Pluribus series premiere plays like a classic Twilight Zone episode. In many of Rod Serling's chilling horror stories, the protagonist would wake up to find that they were still the same, but everyone else was different. In Pluribus, romantasy writer Carol Sturcker watches everyone around her turn into content, mindless drones as the human race is united in an alien hive mind.